Hello YouTube, and welcome to a quick explanation of the command blocks involved with the upcoming PvP Team Deathmatch game that I'm designing. So rather than go through a really long explanation of what each of these blocks do, I'm going to give you a brief explanation and then show you it in action. I've got a couple friends on the game with me, and we're going to be demonstrating the Team Deathmatch scorekeeping system that I've designed here. So the gist of it is that these command blocks create 4 teams: red, green, yellow, and blue. These ones create some objectives to keep track of kills. These ones create dummy players to represent the teams in the scoreboard. They don't actually exist, we just trick the game into thinking they do so that we can display them in the sidebar. This sets the initial scores for the teams. As you can see, those fake players are now in the sidebar representing the 4 teams. And now I need to set my game mode. And we're going to go in survival. And we need to set all the players' initial scores. And give ourselves a slight amount of damage to set the health score. Now we set the team options, which gives us the colors in our names. And finally, I'm going to turn friendly fire off. I'm having a strange bug where sometimes friendly fire seems to apply between teams. However, if that happens, we'll just try to ignore it. Finally, we're going to turn on the clocks that detect all the player updates. And finally, we get to join our teams. So let's get everybody over here. And I'm going to join the blue team. And we're going to hop over here into this tiny arena and show you how the game works. Ugh. So as you can see, as soon as somebody gets a kill, it records that score for their team. And as soon as I die, my inventory is kept. I don't drop my items upon death, but it detects that I'm dead and clears my inventory. As you can see, I just reached a checkpoint score. My team reached 2 kills, and as a result, everybody on my team, which right now is just me, got a speed boost effect. And now the yellow team gets a speed boost effect. And I reached 5 kills, and I get a strength effect. And as you can see, let's let Bryson Lee here get a kill on me. Team scores are cumulative, but player scores are individual. So you can see the yellow team has 2 and 1 kills, but the team kills score shows that the yellow team has a cumulative score of 3. Ugh. And let's try and get one more kill here before we see they've got the strength effect. Now they can one-hit me. And as soon as it wears out, I should be able to get one more kill, and we can get on to explaining some more stuff about the map. And it looked like I was getting the friendly fire glitch there. Yeah, I can't seem to hit Bryce Mordeus, but I was able to kill Bryson Lee, and I now have 10 kills, and I think if I make it to 15, there's one more. Achievement I get, and that is it replaces all the swords of the people on the other team with swords that are broken. Whew. One more kill and we should get that. And Mordeus should have gotten a broken sword there, but I guess we'll never know. Alright. And that's the game. You guys can head out of here now. Thank you for helping me demonstrate this. Thank you. Alright, so what exactly is going on here? Let's just turn this off and clear everything out. What's happening is we have 4 teams, standard Minecraft scoreboard teams, and then we have 5 primary objectives. The first objective is player kill count, and it records kills, and that displays that's what displays in the tab menu and under players' names, although I think I had that turned off. Next we have dummy kills, which is also player kill count. This is what we use to keep track of how many kills a player has gotten since last time the map checked to update the team score. And then when it does, it decrements that from the player's count and gets it back to 0. The next is a dummy score objective called team kills, and this is what displays in the sidebar. Then we have team kills dummy, another dummy, and this is actually applied to all players on a team, and that keeps track of their team's score in the background, since the other one is only for display purposes and is only held by the 4 fake players that I was talking about. And lastly, we have a health objective, and this is used for clearing a player's inventory when they're dead. So I think we ran that. Oops. Okay, we need to run that. Next we have setting up the dummy players, and this just creates 4 players, scoreboard teams join red, player red. It would be essentially a player with the username red. We're adding it to the scoreboard, and the scoreboard doesn't check to see whether the player actually exists or is even logged on. So we can add fake players, and we can display their scores on the side, since they'll be the only players receiving the team kills objective. Next, we need to set the initial scores for the fake players. So we have 8 command blocks here. The first 4 set the team kills score to 1, and the other 4 set them back to 0, and that updates the score so that it actually displays in the sidebar, as you can see there. Now we need to set the actual game player scores, and it will give us a poison effect, and that just updates our health by decrementing it by 1, so that our health is added to the health score. And last but not least, we have the team options, which just sets the colors for the teams and sets their see-friendly invisibles to true. And lastly, we have the optional friendly fire off or on. I like to turn it off. However, you'll be able to choose between those 2 in the final map. Now, once a player joins a team, in this case, let's join the blue team. So as you can see, my name is now blue, and we have 0 kills, and our team has 0 kills. And we activate this timer. This timer runs 2 different subroutines. The first one checks for dead players and then clears their inventory. And the second one is the kill counter, and you can see here we have 1 for each of the 4 teams, although only the blue and yellow teams have the objectives set up, and I'll explain that in a moment. What each of these first command blocks does is it checks for somebody on each of the 4 teams in order who has dummy kills that have not been cleared yet. And as soon as a person has dummy kills, it's going to activate this second timer, and this clock is going to run the actual gist of what happens. So the first thing that happens when we activate that clock, every time it pulses, it adds 1 to the fake players, or sorry, it adds 1 to the behind the scenes team kills value. Then it adds 1 to the display team kills value to the fake player blue. It announces that a player has scored a kill, and it gives XP to that player. This is going to be used for in-game purchases such as class upgrades. 1 tick later, it decrements 1 from the player's dummy kills. So if the player somehow manages to get 5 kills between the time that, or 2 even, between the time this updates, it'll still count both of them since it subtracts 1 each time. So the first time there's going to be 2 kills, it'll subtract 1. The second time there'll be 1 kill, it'll subtract 1, and then there'll be no kills, so the entire stream will shut off. After that runs, we lastly check to see if the behind the scenes team score, which we can check, and the reason we need a behind the scenes team score is because you can't check the score of players who don't really exist. So these fake yellow, green, red, and blue players, which while it would be convenient to check their scores, we can't, so we have to check the scores of everybody or anyone who is on the actual team who is actually playing, and that's why we need the behind the scenes team kills dummy score. We check for specific scores such as 2, 5, 10, and 15, although in the actual map it'll be more like 10, 20, 30, and 40, with the game finally being won at 50, and we apply different effects. So the first one checks for a score of 2, announces that the team has a score of 2, and gives a speed boost to the team. The second one detects that the team has a score of 5, announces that the team has a score of 5, and gives, I believe, yes, the strength effect to the entire team. This one checks for a score of 10, announces a score of 10, and then gives a slowness effect to any team that isn't Team Blue. And lastly, we check for a score of 15, announce the score of 15, and then simultaneously clear diamond swords from the inventory of anybody who isn't on Team Blue, and replaces them with a diamond sword that is nearly broken. So that's how that works, and if you see an effect here, I have this simulates adding 1 to both our personal kills and the background kills. So if we do that, it'll register a kill for the blue team, and you can see it updated there. And you can also see that if I give myself 5 kills, it'll loop until it has added all 5 kills to the team, and you can see my score is 6, and the team kills score is 6. And I've also got the potion effects. So that's how that works. And before I go, I want to show you one more thing. I also designed how I want the teams to be able to choose their classes. So the 5 classes that I've chosen, other than not having a class, is Palace Guards, Ninjas, Tanks, Arsonists, and Snipers. Now, each of these classes has their own unique special abilities, and I've discussed at great length with the people in my live streams about these classes and trying to get them very fairly balanced. And of course, we're going to heavily beta test this map to make sure that they are. I wanted a very smooth experience for players choosing the class that they wanted, and I didn't want them to have to spend a lot of time in a little room, boxed in, reading signs describing the class. I wanted one single screen that showed them everything they needed to know about each class and allowed them to choose it with a single click. And I didn't want that click to be a button. So what we have here is 2 command blocks. That's right, this entire thing will be run by 2 command blocks, or at least 2 commands. In reality, it'll be 1 command block for each team's selection room, and then 5 or 6 command blocks, depending on exactly how I decided to do it, to detect whether or not they've chosen one class or another. And contrary to what you may believe, this does not involve clearing items out of the player's inventory. I didn't want the map to ever clear items out of a player's inventory unless it was related to an objective or the player dying. So the solution I came up with was quite extravagant. It involves extremely long command block commands, very complicated ones. I spent a great deal of time getting the commands correct, and in fact, once I did get them correct, I found it very difficult to actually get them into the command blocks. In Minecraft, you can't enter color codes, you can't even copy paste them in anymore. And as I found out, you can't use mcedit to paste in long commands. They recently lifted the 128 character limit on command block commands, and mcedit has not reflected this change, so I had to find a NBT tag editor that allowed me to have NBT strings longer than 128 characters. But once I was able to do that, I was able to create these command blocks, so let's take a look at what they do. This command block here simply creates a hopper. That's right, it creates a hopper. This is a very special hopper, however, and you'll begin to understand why the command is so long to create this hopper once we open it and see that it is already full of items. And each of these items has a lot of very special information related to it. It explains each of these weapon classes and what they do, the different tiers that you can upgrade them to, and etc. The second important part of this is this command block here. And this does almost exactly the same thing as this command block. It has almost identically the same command, except instead of place block, it uses the test for block command. And you can use it to test for blocks with specific NBT tags. Because of that, we can test for inventory items with specific items in their inventory. This command block checks for this exact hopper with these items in exactly the arrangement and data they have now. I couldn't take out a normal diamond armor piece and put it in here and have it still equate to the same item. So as you see here, we have a result of true. This is the item we're looking for. If I take out any of these items, it will no longer match. So what we do is we create one of these command blocks for this layout, this layout, this layout, and so on. You get the idea. Because of that, we can detect which class the user has clicked on by updating these very rapidly. So as you can see, it is already detected that we have no class chosen, or we have a hopper block with all 5 items in them in the correct places. And if you watch the lights in the background and the command output down here, you'll see that it'll instantly detect which of these we've clicked on. Now it says that we have chosen the Palace Guard class, and the light here is lit up. Now the Ninja class, the Tank class, the Arsonist class, and lastly the Sniper class. If we destroy this, it'll detect nothing, which indicates that the player would have broken the map, and even if they had, we can instantly recreate the hopper like so. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to release this map. It's going to be a lot of fun. I played a couple rounds with my friends here before I started recording, just to make sure everything worked, and other than the weird glitch where it acts as if players who aren't on the same team are on the same team and have friendly fire enabled. Other than that glitch, which I hope to sort out soon, this is a lot of fun to play. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though our scoreboard only goes to 15 here, we ended up playing to about 30 before I finally said, alright, we gotta start recording. So I can't wait to show you guys this. If you want to see the map itself, the arena, please hop on my Twitch live stream whenever I'm streaming. It's twitch.tv/Sydneys1, and that would be twitch.tv/Sydneys1, like so. And you can see me working on it. I've got the arena itself done. We haven't picked a name for the map yet. We're working on the spawn area, and next we're going to be working on the class choosing rooms, and then the team choosing, the team randomizer, all that fun stuff. And I really enjoy it if you guys join me in doing that on my live stream. So I hope to see you soon, and I hope you thoroughly enjoy this map when it is finally released. Thank you.